works out the way you think. But if you want some good advice, I can offer this small wink. You'll find that a little goes a long way. A little goes a long way. A little goes a long way for love. A little goes a long way. A little goes a long way. A little goes a long way for love. If you are so lucky as to find someone with whom to spend your every day, that's in itself a journey, a lifetime of endless study, and you won't master it anyway. But know that a little goes a long way. A little goes a long way. A little goes a long way for love. A little goes a long way. A little goes a long way. A little goes a long way for love. And maybe bring the flowers on a weekday. Go see an old matinee. Find out what her heart is dreaming of. Make plans for a holiday. You can find your own getaway. A little goes a long way for love. You should know that a little goes a long way. A little goes a long way. A little goes a long way for love. Love, love, love. A little goes a long way. A little goes a long way. A little goes a long way for love. Baby, a little goes a long way for love. Yeah, yeah. A little goes a long way for love.
Here we go, put this miserable song on repeat. Cause you seem to forget how much you are hurting me. Do what's right, you say you will, but then you don't. You just don't. You don't care, cause you don't take me seriously. What's there to repair if you don't wanna talk to me? You should know your time is up, I'm out, I'm done. So I'm putting you on a lifetime sentence, and you'll no longer feel my presence. So you thought I would let this slip, thought you knew me so much better. You're on a lifetime sentence, so now you never feel my presence. So you thought I would let this slip, thought you knew me so much better. So you thought I would let this slip, thought you knew me so much better. Yeah, yeah. So you thought I would let this slip. No, that's right. Your words don't mean a thing to me. Sleepless night, your love has left us incomplete. Thinking that your promises will fit so loud. No, that's right. So I'm putting you on a lifetime sentence, and you'll no longer feel my presence. So you thought I would let this slip, thought you knew me so much better. You're on a lifetime sentence, so now you never feel my presence. So you thought I would let this slip. Thought you knew me so much better. Cause I don't. So you thought I would let this slip. Thought you knew me so much better. Oh no. So you thought I would let this slip. So I put you on a lifetime sentence. And now you never.
I know that I just met you, but you look, oh girl, you blow my mind. I know what I would like to do, but you just keep on talking. I see your dog needs walking. Your folk drive you insane. I know, yeah, that's true. Of course, you ain't the one to blame. Keep on talking to me. You keep on telling me your dreams. You keep on talking to me, but I just wanna see you move. Yeah, I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. Yeah, I just wanna see you move. Sure, I like to listen. It's not like I don't wanna know. It's just that you've been talking to me 3 nights in a row. I think it's time to let go. Forget the past, just lose control. Cause life's too short for yapping. Come on and dance, come give me soul. You keep on talking to me. You keep on talking to me. You keep on talking. You keep on talking to me. You keep on telling me your dreams. Talking to me. You keep on talking, but I just wanna see you move.
What's going on? What's going on?
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right.
No.
It's not hard to fool me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yes. Yeah. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say. Where we are heading now, babe. I follow.
In the chat room.
To the edge of it all.
Put your age, gender, and city. Let's get it.
'Cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies.
31 from Atlanta, 29 from Morris Plain. Come on.
Cause I'll buy no matter what.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Susceptible now. Before the moment flies.
Duval County.
Problem.
Somebody say Dallas, Pittsburgh.
'Cause I know what I'm getting into.
Oh, yeah, we got it going.
Nothing can stop me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say. Where we are heading now, babe. I follow. To the edge of it all. So tell your good lies. 'Cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah. Susceptible now.
Let's get the lights up, people. You know you don't want to have intermission.
For
Let's get it. Yeah. Welcome back. It is a rainy son of a gun here in hot Atlanta. And if skips or something like that, do me a favor, hit refresh. But I cannot control the weather, even though I am your godfather. The godfather of fashion, fragrance, style, and profile. That's what it is. It's a fun nickname. But here's what I want to talk about tonight. All right, this is actually a request. And if you want to do a request video, it makes it a heck of a lot easier if you not put a nice little donation in on it, because I got a schedule to uphold. But before we get into it, I want to take a shout out to all the patrons for making this happen. Without the CIA, the FBI, man, it would be hard to do this show like every night, because this is a new add-on, man. I'm not gonna lie. You know, YouTube is it's a you know, with all the stuff going on with the virus and everything, man. You know, people are wanting some content, and let's see if we can't get you what you need. Now, how many people have watched the show last night? I mean, last night's show where we talked about things that are driving black women crazy. And in last night's show, man, I had a sister on there that, you know, just in line with a lot of other things, a sister on there, you know, almost 50 years old, you know, she admitted that herself that she was morbidly obese, you know, 300 pounds, and talking about divorcing her husband. And I'm like, well, what? Why are you divorcing your husband of 17 years? But inevitably, it comes out. Inevitably, when you hear women talk about leaving their men, there are three big reasons. Some sort of abuse that there's never a police history of. You know, I'm not saying it's true or false. What I'm saying is, though, it has never risen to the level to where, you know, the police came out and, you know, you actually went to court behind this stuff. So I take it all with a grain of salt when I hear anyone talk about abuse, if there is no documented police interaction. It's just me. Then there's also the other one. What do we hear? Infidelity, cheating. Well, here's the thing. Black men cheat more than any other group, any other race of men in this country, but black women cheat more than any other race of woman in this country. So let's be honest. There's only 3-4 percentage points different between the admitted black male infidelity rate and the black female infidelity rate. What does that mean? It means ain't nobody winning no prizes when it comes to infidelity. Okay? But the biggest one, are we having problems here? The biggest one is when it comes down to why marriages leave, and especially in the black community, it's money. Black men, let me tell you something right now. If you cannot pay 100% of the bills forever, don't get married. Because black women, more than any other race of women or group of women that I've seen, have that expectation. They don't necessarily articulate it up front, but it is the expectation. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. But the thing is, just know this, man. If you cannot pay 100% of the bills up front without hiccup, she's suspect to leave you. Because whenever you hear a lot of women who are especially older women. So if you realize that women under the age of 35, when they leave their husbands, it's usually some sort of abuse that never has police verification, infidelity that I can't ask him his side of the story, but it's rarely money. A lot of these women openly admit their husbands are firefighters, project managers, paying all the bills. Matter of fact, you've heard women talk about, I didn't have to work until I left my husband, I left my man, and then I left a man that was making enough money to pay for me and 3 kids, and I went and got on welfare. Crazy. But when you hear women in what I consider no man's land, see,
Danger zone!
the danger zone for women is between 27 and 35. That's when the biological clock starts ticking. That's when the pressure is really on. There's a completely different set of motivations for women in that danger zone versus 35 to 60. That's the no man's land. That's the group. That's the area where women tend to have gotten rid of their man, gotten rid of him. Ask most women, and they've had some sort of long-term relationship, meaning 2 years plus, when they're in no man's land, and they tend to have gotten rid of him. And then all of a sudden think they can magically snap their fingers and decide to get a man at any time. No man's land actually has a definition, and I put it down in the description. No man's land is a land that is unoccupied or is under dispute between parties. Between parties who leave it unoccupied due to fear or uncertainty. Does that not sound like black male and female relationships? Unoccupied territory that's under dispute, and both people leave it unoccupied due to fear and uncertainty. Now, if you look throughout armed conflict, war, no man's zones tend to be marked out by barbed wire and minefields. And both sides just sit and look at each other across the field. Well, that's what I say women in 36 to 60 are, in that no man's land. Now, the funny thing is a lot of these women think that they can just go out and get a man just because they want to. And think they can go out and get a high value man. Like I said, I had a 70-year-old woman talking about, I'm getting myself together right now, and in 2 years, I'm going to be ready to get me a high, a CIA provider male. You heard that right. She was 70 when she wrote that in the comment section. So in the next 2 years, by the time she's 72, then she'll be ready to go get her a provider male. And I'm like, wow. Where did it get here? What is the no man's land? We're going to get into that because I got to ask a question. Black women, would you rather get together or would you rather die alone? Would you rather get together or would you rather die alone? I'm going to put something in the chat room and I need you guys to read this. Put 2 things in the chat room. Moderators, keep putting this in the chat room. Kotokushi, or lonely death, refers to a Japanese phenomenon of people alone and of people dying alone and remaining undiscovered over a long period of time. Yep, that's what's going on in Japan right now. That's a phenomenon. It's a real thing. It even has a name. The phenomenon was first described in the 1980s. Kotokushi has become an increasing problem in Japan, attributed to economic troubles and Japan's increasingly elderly population. Now, I was going to play a video on YouTube, but I decided not to. You can go look at any video on YouTube you want to, and you can see it. You can see it if you decide you want to. But let me go ahead and do something real quick. Go ahead and do something real quick. Put that over there. And put that right there. All right. So, actual size. So, here's what I'm going to do, though. How many people have heard of that term? Because, see, when I first heard of it, I went and read I went and read a little bit about it, and it was freaking depressing. They were talking about people dying alone on their futon or on their couch or their pallet and laying there undiscovered until the stench becomes so bad that their neighbors have to report it. Think about it. Japanese people live kind of on top of one another. They're not really big. And you die in this place alone. But what does that look like? What is that? This is what it looks like. There's an entire industry in Japan for this. You see that right there? That right there is the futon or the sleeping area where this person died. And they lay there dead, rotting, decomposing by themselves until a neighbor alerted the city. They have talked about this, that people can be walking outside down the street and they'd just be alerted to the smell. Every day in Japan, 3 people die alone. 3. Every day. Today, 3 people died. Tomorrow, 3 people will die. And why? Because in Japan, more than even here, they have a phenomenon where men are just choosing not to deal with women because they become so westernized or feminized. Japan is where the black community will be within the next 20 years. It is never before in human history have you had so many 40, 50, 60-year-old people by themselves. At that age, in any other time in history, you were a grandparent, of which you had your children, of which there were many, and your grandkids, of which there were many. And older or elder care was the responsibility of the family. The United States is the same way. It is not set up to have a population of 350 million people or a black community with 40 plus million people, and 74% of the women are not married. 3 out of 4 black women will die alone. And when I asked that woman last night, hey man, you're 46 years old, 300 pounds. What's your plans? And she started getting frustrated as I was talking to her. Who's going to know? Well, and in her mind, she's going to be just fine because she's going to be living on $3,700 a month. That's broke for a morbidly obese woman. And see, imagine in Japan, where the houses are stacked on top of each other. It's almost like New York City. If you've ever been to New York City, you see how close people live. Well, think about when you live in a place like the United States, where your house is separated by a yard. You know how long you would have to be dead in your home for the smell to leak out of your house, to go across your yard into your neighbor's yard, into their home. You'd have to be dead months. Can you imagine what it will look like or smell like for somebody to go in your crypt? Yeah, I'm getting graphic tonight because we need to knock this crap off. All these 40 and 50-year-old women thinking that they can just, especially if you don't have any kids, and in an environment like we have right now with COVID, where the medical system is taxed, the intensive cares, they don't have any time to do anything. You'll be gone. Why am I talking about this? Because I'm talking about this because so many, it's become evident to me that black folk, we do short-term relationships. We can come together long enough to make a baby, but you can't even stay with the man long enough. When you're with the man shorter than the pregnancy, there's a problem. But you know what? I can show you better than I can tell you. Let's get into it. I can show you better than I can tell you. So many of you ladies think that just because you're cute, you can just go get a man off the high value tree. If you don't think that men that have got their life on the right track are sitting back saying, yeah, I'll hit it. But anything more serious? And I don't want to see any more broken home. Hello?
Hi. Can you hear me better now?
I can. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
So your name is Dakota?
Yes.
Are you north or are you south? Which one are you?
That's good. That's funny. I've never heard that joke before, but I would say.
So how many kids do you have?
I have 2.
Were you married?
I was.
Okay. And how long are you divorced?
I am.
How long you been divorced?
4 years.
Okay. So what's your question?
My question was I just wondered if it would just be better for me just to simply wait until my daughters were older to date.
Well,
and just to explore, because I have dated, and interestingly enough, the 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 men that I've met, they're usually older.
Mhm.
They're stable.
Mhm.
They have, some of them have lived at least 2 lives,
Mhm.
and that's fine because I'm 40, so that's to be expected.
You're how old?
I'm 40.
How old is your youngest daughter?
9.
How old is your oldest daughter?
12.
See, here's the issue with.
Yeah. So what I was gonna, are you done talking?
Well, I mean, if you met a guy that you were fond of and he was fond of you, where's their father?
Oh, he's in their life.
But would he want some? Would you or him be all right with a man in the house of 2 teenage girls in development?
I haven't had a conversation with him about that
Your
specific.
ex-husband?
Yeah, I haven't talked to him specifically about that because I haven't.
What do you think he would say?
I don't know, actually, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't know. He has somewhat of a passive personality.
Right. Is he very protective of his daughters?
No. Well, you know what? I don't know yet because I haven't really had a situation where he had to be.
Well,
They're still very
are you
young.
guys co-parenting successfully?
Yeah.
How often do you interact with him?
A couple of times a week. That's how often he gets them.
When's the last time you guys actually,
Probably back in 2013, years ago.
That's the last time you had him.
The last time I slept with him, yes.
That's the last time you got these. Really, 2013. See, back when she had a husband, that's what you see on the screen now. You can hear more of that in your voice. And you have a little bit more optimistic tone. And notice how we start out. Start out talking about getting out here, dealing with or dating high value men. I asked this woman a question. Do you think your ex-husband would have a problem or issue with strange men being around his daughter? And this woman said, I don't know. I don't think so. You don't even, I need you to understand that how she tried to frame him to justify why they are not together. Listen to how she's framing him. Would he mind strangers being around his daughter? I don't know. Never thought to ask him. I mean, when you say you don't know, that tells me that guy must be, he must be in, Alaska or someplace.
2013.
7 years ago was the last time you scratched that itch?
Probably more like 6. I would say 2014 because that was the end. So.
Okay. So, and who have you been seeing since then?
I've just dated, but I think I've been.
Okay, ma'am, you're 40. 6 years ago was 34. Woman sexual prime is 35. Come on now.
What's your question again?
Who are you hooking up with?
Who?
Because if it wasn't your ex-husband, that's okay. But you haven't had any long-term relationships.
No.
You've been in your sexual prime. Look, I've had my fair share of experiences. Come on, sis. That's all I'm trying to understand is. What I'm trying to understand is how close you guys are, and how realistic you're willing to be. If you're saying you haven't hooked up with him for 6 years, okay. But you say you see him every couple of weeks.
I see him every few days. That's how often he gets
every
his kids.
few days. Does he have a wife or a girlfriend?
No.
All right. So, it is. Are you guys still attracted to one another?
I am not attracted to him.
Has he changed physically?
As in how he looks?
Yes.
I mean, he's cut his hair and everything.
Okay. Now so we keep on moving. And now she sounds like this. And the net of it is this. A man that involved with his daughters has a comfortable relationship with his ex-wife. And he knows that you have not had a history of being out there on the wild side with me.
Well, he knows I date.
Date? Now, this is what you're going to need to date. This is what men want to date right here. Okay? This is what men want to date. Men want to date this. But instead, this is starting to come out. Because that's really what too many of our sisters think about men. Especially as this kind of goes on. Date is one thing, but nobody staying over.
Oh, no. I have daughters here. Absolutely.
That's what I'm getting. Duh. I'm saying. Your ex-husband knows that you aren't going to have men in the house with his daughters.
No, absolutely not.
But that would change. And the question is, how would he react if he felt like that was going to start happening?
He might actually feel some kind of way about that. Of
course he would. He might actually not want to have two strange men around his 2 daughters. Do you hear this? Now, this proves several points. You don't know your ex-husband, nor do you even know men and their nature or what we're like. All this is about is her.
You are right.
So, this is why I often say to women, why did you guys get divorced?
Over money.
And here he goes. Boom.
He doesn't keep a job, so.
He doesn't keep a job. We got divorced over money. Anytime you hear a woman say that, that's what this is. That's what's really behind it.
It became very difficult financially.
It became very difficult financially.
We're talking foreclosure, bankruptcy, all that.
Yeah. See, of course. Now listen to how bad she gonna make him sound. foreclosure, bankruptcy, for all this other stuff. Let's go back to broadcast last night. Are you aiming too high? Keeping up with Joneses on social media, impossible to please, living past your means? Why are you getting foreclosed and bankruptcy if you living at your means? What do you mean, Godfather? Oh, well, let's let the rest of the story get told.
The stuff, you name it. So it was just
Oh,
difficult.
okay. Okay. So he doesn't keep a job. All right. But he's active in his daughter's life, even post-divorce.
Yes.
So are you living at your means now?
I'm sorry, say that question
Are you
again.
living at your means now?
At my means, as in if I can afford my lifestyle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been foreclosed or anything like that post-divorce?
No.
Then do you make room for the possibility that maybe you guys are living outside of your means? Is that a fair question? If you're not foreclosed or bankruptcy or anything like that post-divorce, do you make room for the possibility that maybe, just maybe, you guys were living outside of your means in your marriage? But see, the implication, I think that's a fair question. But see, the implication with that would have been, then we should have downsized instead of divorced. The implication is, then maybe it wasn't a money issue. Maybe it was, I wanted stuff instead of a man. See, that's what that implication was. And that's what that long pause was. Moral conflict. Because all she had to do was go talk to her girlfriend or anybody else and tell them, girl, I'm not happy. He is not keeping up with the bills. He won't keep a job and we getting foreclosed and this and that. Then she go tell one of her single girlfriends, all her single girlfriends, and they're gonna be like, yeah, girl, and what kind of think she ran to a pastor or married people or a financial counselor? You think any of that stuff happened? No. Women know how to tell stories to make men look horrible. But you got the right, but she got to the right one today. See, I don't fall for that stuff. I ask questions. Because the picture you've painted is of a man who, after divorce, is around every couple of days. That is a hell of a consistent man after a divorce of how many years? 4?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
And he's over there 3 times a week. 52 weeks out of the year, he's over there almost as much, more than a lot of, come on, man. You divorced him over money. That's a petty thing to divorce over.
Well, he doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
Am I supposed to take care
Okay.
of
So, what? I said that's a petty thing to divorce. That man, did you hear what I said? He's over there consistently. 4 years post-divorce. You can't do that if you don't have a job. And when I said it's a petty thing to divorce over, the implication was it would have been better to downsize, cut your bills, find a way to make your marriage work for you, your husband, and the kids. But the only thing she could say is, but he doesn't work. See, you can say that stuff to them wait and exhale people. You can say that stuff to them color purple people. You can say them stuff to that stuff to the men bashing people. Men are gonna ask you questions. Well, he's been around for 4 years post divorce every other day, and he can't be living in a cardboard box on Monday. Come get his kids, be there on Wednesday, and deal with the daughters, and then go back to the cardboard box, and then come back on Friday. See, there's no way a man that's not consistently working will be allowed to come to her house every other day. Am I lying, ladies? What she's saying is he didn't make enough money for the kind of man I think I should have. And I can do bad all by myself. If I got to live like this, I might as well be single. You're willing to work alone. You're willing to work and be alone versus be married. Yesterday, y'all remember that? Let's get it. So you're basically saying the measure of your man is money. Listen.
The measure of my man is, can he provide for his family?
Well, okay. Can he provide for his family? When you got married, did you tell him you expected him to pay all the bills? Did y'all have that conversation?
I never told him I expected him to pay.
Oh, okay.
I didn't tell him that.
But he's a good father. Yes or no?
He's a good father. Yes.
Okay. Well, okay. So I gotta ask you, Miss Dakota, what's more important for your daughters?
You mean
what's more important for your daughters, a paycheck or a good father?
Them having a roof over their head.
Oh no, you got the roof.
Oh, so I'm supposed to take care of the children and a grown man.
Oh well, see that. See. Here's the thing. Okay. No. Don't get into it with me. Well, what I'm saying is you're doing it already, and you ain't got no man.
Well, I'm not taking care of a man.
And you gotta no. See those vows you took didn't say you can leave because of money issues. See, we have too many of our sisters that treat black men as though, if you ain't paying all the bills. That's why I start putting that question out there, letting black men know, you better understand that black women will never come out and say it, but they expect you to pay everything. And if you don't, they'll leave you. Doesn't matter how good of a man you are, how good of a father you are, they will leave. Now, the funny thing is, you basically painting the picture of a man who has damn good character, but you throw him away because he ain't paying no bills. But the funny thing is, are you working any less hard than you would be if he was there? Well, I'll be damned. Y'all tripping. 2,500 people in here and 925 likes. Well, I guess y'all know what that means. Get them likes up. Doors of the church open. Passing the collection plate around. Come on. Do your part now. Likes are the price of admission to the show, so get them up. Likes are the price of admission to the show, get them up. Pay my likes. Now, we don't want to do that again. Keep my likes up over 50%, please. And please do me a favor. Throw a little something in the tip jar every now and then. These likes don't pay for themselves. Let's get back to the show. Y'all ready for that?
Am I working
Are
any
you
less
working
hard?
yeah. If he was there, would you still have to do what you're doing? You still have to go to work.
Yes.
All right. So him
Still
not
have-
being there is not a net gain for you. It's a
Okay.
loss. You don't have a man in the house or any help. Listen to the moral confusion. This is a woman who married a man and did not do what she could do to save her marriage. She divorced the man, she said, because of money. What she did not say is we got bankrupt and foreclosed. What she didn't say is, we moved out of that big old house and we moved back into an apartment. See, callers yesterday were real. Black women calling yesterday were real. Black women, and like the sister said, no real patience for black men. If you don't do what they say or what they want, they will leave you. And I'm like, cool. If that's what it is, if you co-sign with this, fine. I'm just saying, let black men know this is how you feel. Hey man, if you ain't gonna pay all the bills 100% in the house kind of house I want, if I gotta downsize or anything like that, if I gotta have any struggle, anything, any of that, I'd rather be by myself. I'm gonna take your children with me. I'm gonna make you a weekend dad, and then I'm gonna live in the same size house that I could with you, but I'm gonna live there apart from you on principle. Forget the vow. Yeah, boy. It gets worse and worse. You're a grown woman, right? I mean, let's be honest. You still are working, paying, but you are saying it like, I'm supposed to take care of a grown man. Well, would you rather? So a man is nothing but a check. He's supposed to pay the bills. Ma'am, it sounds like it or not, I get what you want. But what you got is what you got. You married the man. You got kids. He's a good father. But you prioritize money, so you divorced him over money. And here's the net. Why is all this coming to? Why is it going to come to bear? When you talk about dating and people start getting into your history with your ex, and this comes out. Oh, make sure. Let me go ahead and double down on this point, ladies. If you did not know, let me go ahead and make sure it's clear. When you divorce and you're dating, and men start asking you about your ex, and they run into something like this, that you divorced a man who was a good father because of money, the dude ain't gonna say nothing. He gonna be like, oh yeah, that's what's up. He probably even say something like this. Well, I don't blame you, sis. These bum dudes out here ain't working and that, he might say something real fly like that. Something that's just gonna make you be like, well, yeah, because he's trying to hit it. But in his mind, he's gonna be like, you know what? Life happens. And I don't know this story, but I know far too many men who have lost a job, fell on hard economic times. Remember that 18-year-old girl? Remember that woman that said she left her husband that was 35 years older than her? The 18-year-old girl that got married to the 53-year-old man and never had to work or hit a lick in her life, so much so that she could walk around with an attitude like she did something because she owned a little piece of a business, but divorced her husband because he was fighting for life for cancer. He got cancer and talked bad to her a few times, but she became a warrior. Yeah, man. Woo, men know this. Men say, what you gonna do when it happens to me? When this comes out, the guys who are worth a damn, they're gonna be like, oh, no. They're gonna be like, this woman left her husband because of money. So that's cool. Did you gain any weight in the marriage?
No.
And that's the thing. And as long as you're cool with and when I say that's cool, I do mean that is cool. If you are a woman, and you think it is your divine position to be able to leave your husband over money reasons, that is cool. But my thing is, you need to let everybody know how harshly and how strictly you judge, because you should be judged the same. That means you better be as perfect as you expect him to be. No workarounds, no nothing. So that means, case in point, you have a child, you better drop the weight like that. 30 days. Your husband doesn't have to be patient with you. You need to do what you got to do. See, I don't think you would like the world if it was played that way, but let's get it. Judged that way. Because let's say if you were to go off and get married or find somebody, I hope you're all right with being left the same way because of a younger woman gaining weight or whatever. But you haven't said the man's a bad man. But I get it. I'm not telling you to take care of a grown man, but I'm telling you right now, you don't sound like you're doing nothing else. It sounds like you were better. And therein lies the rub. You ain't doing nothing else. You ain't doing nothing else. Nothing else. You a single AF. But this is what it really gets down to. Black women like her value black men so little to where as if you are not, if life is just doing this, if it's just neutral, you don't need to be there. The only way a man needs to be in black women like this lives if they're increasing. Think about what I just said. Life just can't be normal. You need to be increasing over and over and over. That's that keeping up with the Joneses, living past your means. See what Will Smith said with Jada Pinkett at the Red Table Talk. The ability to be able to make an error, to mess up, and not have the fear you're going to lose your family. Why would think about this? And all the women are like, well, no. I want you to understand this. Why would a black man who's working for a company, who's making good money, take the risk of leaving there to start his own business on the chance that he could actually make more? Because if he leaves that company and takes the risk, he has to not only do everything over there, he's got to worry about you walking out the back door soon as you have a bad quarter back to back. Oh, we're going to get into it tonight. You talk about why black men ain't building this and that, because they don't have any help. You don't have a feminine, beautiful, and inspirational partner or groups. You, black women like this, would rather her man stay working for somebody else so she does not have to suffer. Oh, we getting into it tonight. I'm good with it. I am good with it, but you better be able to you want those high standards? I am fine with it. My boys, the Henrys, they're good with it. But that's why you can't get with them. Because you can't live, you're not there. You're not that. You're not that. Better off married. Something in your ego wouldn't allow you to take care of no grown man. I feel you. I hear you, but but I gotta ask you, Dakota, were your daughters happier with daddy in the house? Now, this is where it went off the rails. Because this is when she became this thing right here, full on in my eyes.
They're always happy. I mean,
no, ma'am. That is a disingenuous answer. See, we were doing good until you did that.
What did I do?
I asked you a direct question. Were your daughters happier with daddy in the house?
Yes.
And you would not give that man credit. You deflected. See, that's so petty. That wasn't about your daughters. That was all about you.
May I ask you a question?
Sure.
Um, so do you think that in a marriage, so you know how you were getting ready to ask me if I gained weight or, whatever other questions you were going to ask me. Um, I'm just trying to get my words right. So, I guess because there's a part of me that does feel like, okay, because when it comes to a woman, a wife, if she gets to changing and she gains weight, or if there's not enough sex and things after the children, if anything in her mood changes after she becomes a mother, if she changes in any way for the worse, and then he makes a choice to step out or leave or not do anything, I mean, is that okay? Because sometimes I feel like if a man changes and he's not on top of his responsibility, I feel like, particularly as a Black woman, that we're supposed to just
Hmm.
normalize the dysfunction and just kind of go with it, even if you're in jeopardy of losing your home, or
Is
you
this a question?
you
Did you hear how she was? That's where the moral conflict started because every time she tried to and make a situation to where she could try to justify what she did, she had to come back to the fact that that man ain't done none of that. My husband ain't done none of that. Every bad thing I'm about to try to make, he didn't do that. He didn't do that. He didn't do that either. See, how she first started off saying, there's a part of me, yeah, lady, you know you made a mistake. And instead of just owning it, your sister girl, Black girl magic, screw these men, I'm strong, independent, don't need no man, ego would not allow you to keep your marriage together. Again, every other day he's over there 4 years after the marriage. All you've done is wasted money and you look crazy out here. That's why I got crazy eyes up over you. And I let her go for 2 minutes because it's like, is that a question, ma'am? And then she's like, uh, it won't work because I've never had to sit down and really think about it. I made an emotional, stupid decision off of petty money. Yes, money is petty. Money is petty. We're living in a pandemic. Money is petty. Money is petty. Petty, petty, petty. And see, that's what we need to get to. We need to start calling this crap out. It is petty. Petty. But I ain't gonna take care of no grown man. Oh, okay. But you'll have him at your house every other day. And ain't that no man in your house right now? Uh-huh. Petty. Petty. But you know what ain't petty? That ain't petty. That's real.
I mean,
No, see what I allowed you to do, ma'am, is I allowed you to talk it all out, and you're starting to have a moral conflict with your own argument.
you think so?
Oh yeah, I'm good at what I
Okay.
do.
Okay.
I'm good at what I do. I let you get it all out because what you're having to say. Well, see what you couldn't say is none of that happened. And see right here is where if she'd actually been a feminine woman, she could have at least had a tear in its head. Right. Damn. Oh God, I was blind. But no. What came out was the Hulk. What came out was the strong, independent, rah, rah, rah. No, I'm going to fight you now because I made a decision and damn it, I'm going to double and triple down on it because Black men ain't nothing. You're giving me a hypothetical and I'm going to ask,
Well,
no, I'll let you,
I didn't
oh
tell
no,
you that
ma'am,
was
I'll let you speak for 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Oh, okay.
None of that happened in your relationship. So
Okay.
hypotheticals don't matter to your individual situation. Let's just put it on the wood.
Okay.
Your ego cannot handle a man who's not paying the bills. That's it. So for
I never
that, you broke
say
your.
all.
No, I'm still going. That's it. It's not about character. It's not about family. It's not about the children's happiness. It's about your ego not being able to accept the fact that this man is under earning. That's it. It's not as though you said this man was a lazy, good for nothing, shiftless dude sitting here playing Madden all day. He's an active, good father. There are women. Come back and look at the chat room and see what women are saying. I'm not looking, but I can pretty well guess what the women who watch this platform are saying. Oh my God, sis. Basically, you have put money, and I'm going to say this: you ain't rich. It's a very petty thing you divorce for, and see that's what this whole COVID pandemic thing has kind of helped Black people realize that all this shit that so many of our sisters have, people have valued, can be taken like that. This woman ain't rich. She ain't no 6-figure plus earner. She's normal like a mug, average like a mug. And again, I want to hear from the women to explain this to me, why it is better to be alone in your house with kids than in there with a man who ain't paying all the bills. 72% of mothers in this country work full or part time. Why are Black women such snowflakes in this regard? Somebody in the chat room said Black women won't fight with you for nothing. They'll fight against you on everything. This is a woman. What did she sound like she was fighting for her family? Oh, you can call back in too, Dakota. And all you got is family. All you got is each other. And what you're looking at is a man that you divorced over money who's still doing what he should be doing. See, if he would have, you divorced him over money and he just said, fuck it, I'm not going to do anything, then you'd have had a case. I divorced him over money and he ain't done nothing for his daughters. Now, no, he's still over here two, three times a week. He's active as ever.
When you say active, can you define active?
I'm defining what you said.
No, what do you think active means?
Active is you have sole physical custody. Listen, see that? See how she was giving all the credit earlier, but now that she looked bad, she's gonna start taking credit away from him instead of saying, "Ooh, maybe I made an error." No. I got to make you understand how bad he is. Oh, it's about to get real ugly. Right?
Yes.
Okay, so he has every other weekend. That's what he has. So being over there every other day is outside of his custody arrangement. It's helping you. He only gets every other weekend. But he is extremely active according to the law. You are getting, if you need to do anything, all you gotta do is pick up a phone and say, "Hey, dude, come over here," and he's there like that because he's still in his daughter's lives. Ma'am, this was I would tell you this: good luck trying to date any man with any character and telling this story. It doesn't sound really good, man. You divorced him over petty money reasons.
You think it's petty?
Yes, I do, because, ma'am, your ass is still. Ladies, do you think it's petty? Yes or no? Not the men, ladies. Do you think divorcing a man over money is petty? This is what she said. Do you think what she did was petty? Up having to work. All you don't have is a man. Divorced him over petty money reasons.
You think it's petty?
Yes, I do, because, ma'am, your ass is still getting up having to work. All you don't have is a man.
Okay. Well, I would like a man who works. So,
Well, good. What would your daughters like?
okay.
What would your daughters like?
They would like a father
No,
who
they would
spends
like their no, they would like no, don't get that's bullshit. See, now you want to go there, that's a little they want their father.
exactly.
Well, I would like a man that works, okay? This is why you're alone. This is why you're gonna die alone. This is why women like this will die alone. Shame, guilt, insults, and the need to be right. You're too damn stubborn, Fine. Fine. Be that way. And hope it works out for you the way you intended. But when I said I want a man that works, then you should have married one that could pay all the bills. That's not what you married. You changed up on him. And knowing if he had changed up on you, if you'd have changed up on you, he wouldn't have did it. That man wouldn't, if she had gained a bunch of weight or fell on times, who thinks that man would have left her? See, women can change up, but men can't. See, that's another thing that's going on in this world. You want to be modern women, feminist, womanist, all this other stuff, but yet you still want traditional provider males. You want us to go out, want the men to go out and slay the dragon, compete and build Wakanda and everything, and then come back home and do dishes. Forget that. Brothers have said enough of this because they're hearing the stories. They're listening to coming from your own mouth. This woman sounds crazy because it's all about her. I said, well, what do your daughters want? What do your daughters want? And she couldn't say her daughters want money. Her daughters want their father. But that didn't matter. She gonna be right. They want their father. And they would like their mother not to have divorced their father over petty bullshit. See, now you want to go there, that's a little. They want their father.
Exactly.
They want their father. And they would like their mother not to have divorced their father over petty freaking reasons.
But here's the thing though. Do you think that as they get older that they're
what I think is going to happen is they get older, they're going to resent the hell out of you. They're going to resent you want to hear? I think they're going to resent the absolute fuck out of you because they're ladies. Do you think the daughters are going to admire, understand, be neutral, or resent their mother for pushing their father, their father, I'm going to say loving, their consistent father out of the home for money? Ladies, what do you think the daughters are going to admire, understand, remain neutral, be upset, or be angry with their mother for putting their consistent father out of the home and divorcing him for money reasons? Now understand, these sound like middle-class people. We're not talking about dealing with millions. Now this is when it goes off the rails. Father is showing up on Tuesday and Thursday. He's there. He's doing the hard work. See, many women complain of high value men of just being a check and not being there. You got the whole goddamn man even afterwards, and you're too fucking blind to see it. You took their father out of the household for a little bit of money, for a little bit of money. You're not rich for a little bit of money, and you didn't discuss this up front, ma'am. You didn't go into it saying, hey, man, I need you to carry all the bills. You need to pay all this stuff. You did this afterwards. Good for you. Get the fuck off my phone. I cannot stand women like you. And I said it then and I mean it now. I cannot stand women like this. Because notice when her story wasn't working, when the logic wasn't working, she started trying to add more onto it. Well, yeah, but what do you mean, good father? Notice at the beginning, she tried to act like he wasn't there. Go back and listen to it. how she framed it, a liar. You framed it to make him look bad. At no point did you want to give him any credit, and I pulled it out of you. And then even at the end, instead of saying, you know what? Maybe we did pull the trigger too soon. Maybe hindsight is 2020. Even if they didn't get back together, just to have a better interaction between one another. Instead of the contempt and the disrespect. No. She doubled and tripled down. So I'm like, well, if that's who you are, fine. Be prepared to be judged that way. Cool. Be prepared to be judged that way. Just fine. I would rather have a man who work. Right. Okay. Well, a man who's working, who can actually make enough, don't want women like that. I didn't even get into height, weight, dress size, looks. I'm talking about attitude. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to open these call lines up because, yeah, man, this is crazy. Would rather die alone. Notice he tried to give, well, what is a good father? Well, he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that. She would have went down. She would have kept on giving me reason after reason after reason until I said, you right. You should have divorced his lazy, not good for nothing, not working self. What kind of man sits around and does this? Understand something. Every relationship has their own, every relationship has its own dynamics. But this is one of them women that'll be worried about keeping up with the Joneses. Too worried about how it would look instead of worrying about what she got at home. I get it. Like I said, I hope if you got those high standards, you got to understand. Don't assume things. Because there are, I don't want to say that. That's what I'll say to it. You got those high standards. Fine.
Okay.
Thank you. Be prepared to
Thank
be
you.
judged that way by karma, by the universe.
See,
that's
calls
fine.
can go well. Yeah.
See, for the people who are new here, you got to understand something. Why was I so upset? Because that is a selfish reason to rip a father out of his children's life. What did Will Smith say at the Red Table Talk? One of the most powerful lines. He said, the ability to be able to make mistakes and not fear your family will be snatched from you. That is a massive fear men have dealing with women in this Western feminist world, that the wives can decide to change their mind and then all of a sudden snatch your entire family from you and make you a weekend dad. That's a real fear. That's a horrible thing to do to a man. And here's the thing. I don't think anybody thinks that woman I was talking to was a VP of mergers and acquisitions. She's got a job somewhere. She ain't rich. I don't need to see how tall you are and this and that. I will tell you this. You could be attractive, but you got an ugly spirit. All right, let's get back to this. Okay. Juxtapose that with a woman I spoke with yesterday, who was the 300-pound woman. And what you basically have is, and then you juxtapose it with the other woman who's been having dated for 20 plus years. And you got a lot of women age 36 to 60 with little to no relationship skills, little to no real world relationship skills with men, thinking that they can just jump back out here and date or find a man and then ride off into the sunset with him. No. What is more likely to happen? What is more likely to happen when you have women like that, women who think like this? What's far more likely to happen? This is your future. This is your future. That's it. This is your future. What's going on, man? We're going to open the call line up in just a second. The future is not looking very pleasant for a lot of these women. Why? Inability to deal with anybody. Everybody got to be perfect. That's what it looks like. This is our pal, the Grim Reaper. Hi, Grim Reaper. How are you doing? How you doing, man? I'm good. How are you? Who you coming to collect? You coming to collect her? Yeah, you got her on your list? You got her on your list? Oh, okay. But she started off this way. But this is how she started off. And then somehow she started off like this, but somehow this took over. And then all of a sudden she became this. And you know what really did it? Is they was thinking about her. She's got it all made. Yep, that's what she was thinking about. See, let me go ahead and even put her in the light. See, her life is all up in the light. See, she saw her and said, I want to be like that. But here's the thing. She don't really know her. She just thinks she know her. And then when she couldn't get these high value this, a Mercedes, or BMW, or all these jet set and stuff, all of a sudden, life became too hard, or it's not happening. It's not fast enough. You're going to get this surgery or that surgery. And then, no. Then what ends up happening? Get angry. Then this starts coming out. And when you start acting in this poor little thing right there, that little nice feminine little part of you, boop. Nope, just goes away. When's the last time you've heard any of these women who sounded like they had any lightness, any joy in their voice? Nope, just sound like this talking. What's up, dude? Holla at you. What's up, my G? Yeah, I'm just out here trying to give me one of these Henrys, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, dog, And this dude over here just sitting like, because this right here then drove him to this. Yeah. Look, and yeah, she's carrying a bat. That is a bat. That's Lucille. Yeah. Losing their damn mind. Losing the damn mind. Oh, let me go ahead and help you out. Because we're going to open the call line. And don't think you can sit around talking crazy in my chat room either. No. You can't sit around and talk crazy in my chat room. If you type in all caps, first off, if you type in all caps, my system is going to automatically block you. And if I see you, it's automatically going to delete your message. And if I keep seeing it, I'm going to block you. Type like you got sense. How do you call in? Well, first off, we got to do this. We got to do this before we do the call in, because I am tired of having these women sit around and throw away black men. It's the black men who are working just like any other group of men out here and fall on any kind of hard times or trouble. They're just trash. Bull crap. But before let's open the call lines and let's get it.
Money work.
Now see, if it was doing this, they'd be happy.
El mundo quiere dinero.
What? Money. Oh, money. Look how fine I am. I deserve all that money. Yeah, me too, girl. Let me get some of that over there. Shit. I know I got a bat. Hell, I'm a woman. Can I get a stack or two? What? don't know that money is a trap though. See? That's what's hiding up over there for you. Yeah, come on over and get your money. Yeah. Go ahead, live by yourself. It's easy. Get them likes up, get them likes up, get them likes up, get them up. Throw them donations up in there so we can get this call line. If you want to call in, you're going to have to make sure you have no background noise. You cannot have YouTube on.
No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work, yeah. El mundo quiere dinero, yeah. Money work, se arregla con dinero, yeah. Money work, corazón. De corazón, la plata no te hace ser feliz. De corazón, la plata no te hace ser feliz.
Remember, people say I'm coming for my dude.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah. Money work.
Luna.
Lunático.
But sadly, too many of our sisters got this kind of mentality right here.
Cuando me tratas mal y sigues, cuando tú me traicionas con vaciles, hermosa pero tú tienes como 10,000 perfiles, uno que me ames y otro que me olvide. La tóxica eres tú, cuando me tratas mal y sigues, cuando tú me traicionas con vaciles, hermosa pero tú tienes como 10,000 perfiles, uno que me ames y otro que me olvides. Eras todo lo que yo soñaba, ahora te quiero olvidar, con tiburones ya no sé nada, por eso ausente voy a estar. No me mereces, ponle esa trampa otras veces, no es mucho lo que tú ofreces. Ella sabe lo que yo le doy, ella es consciente.
I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's robbing. Tyson with the fade, not the hair, my hands rocking. When I link with ballpoint, you know it's knocking. I'm not the same. Thinking money made me change, nothing else to blame. Bougie stuck up in my ways, singing Gucci gang. Gucci gang. Think I'm Gucci Mane. I'm just playing.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Remember, we be nice to them if they be nice to us, but don't call in here tripping. I will shut that crap down. I will shut her down. I see you in the call room. If I see you in the room, I see you, Valentina. Okay, understand something. Either you're with somebody or you're going to die alone. If you like that lady the other day, 46, 300 pounds, look, man, ain't nobody coming to save you. What's life going to look like? Either you decide you want to be with somebody or you're going to what? You need to connect your audio. Let me help you out. Connect your audio. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hi. Good morning, Kelvin.
Okay. Hi. How are you? You speak up.
Very well. Very well, thank you.
How do
Hi,
you pronounce your first? How do you pronounce your first name?
Valentinos.
Okay. What do you have on the subject for me? Get together or die alone. What you gonna do?
Oh well, I just joined your the live chats now.
Okay.
Yeah. Just wanted to appreciate what you're doing, and I recently just came across your channel, and I've been watching your previous videos, and
Oh,
you'll see I've really learned a lot.
well, what I got to know is what you got on the subject, because I got to have you on the subject now. I got people calling in.
Okay.
Are you?
Well,
Did you
I just
call in to
wanted to
talk
ask
about the
a,
topic?
no, wanted to ask a question.
Okay. If it's not on the topic, I can't handle it.
Okay.
I mean,
That's
that's the purpose of a call-in show. Um, well, go ahead. What's your question, real quick? Maybe if it's not too far off, but if it's, go ahead. What is your question?
okay.
Make it quick though.
Okay. Yeah. For okay. Hold on.
Spit it out.
Okay. Honestly, I was raised to be a wife, and I am submissive, right? But the thing is, I find it difficult getting into a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the question?
So
You were raised to be a wife, but
yes, I want to be submissive to a man, but the thing is,
how old are you?
I hardly
How old
ever
are you?
meet
How old are
people.
you?
I'm 29.
Where do you live?
I live in Nigeria.
Where?
Nigeria.
Well, um, I really can't help you. I'm over here in the States. I don't handle, I handle state problems. If you're raised to be a wife, I mean, are your parents involved in this? Or are you just picking a man
Okay.
on your own?
I lost my dad when I was 8. So
Okay. Where's your mom? Where are the other men in your family?
my mom lives in another state, so while I live in the capital city, all by myself with my auntie.
Well, nothing I can really help you with. I wish I don't want to tell you the wrong, but you're in a different country, different culture, different situation. Not something I can handle though. But continue to watch the show. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah, this is not just a grab bag, people. It's not just a you decide you want to just, hey, let me ask you about the Riemann hypothesis. No, I got a subject. And yeah, I mean, I appreciate them calling in, but I see I'm not going to speak out of my lane or speak outside of something I'm talking about. You're talking about a completely different country, a completely different culture. And at 29, you should have people there around you, a family or somebody who's better equipped than a stranger to you on the internet. So there we go. And the ladies keep calling in. They call in, they bounce out. So here's the net of it. 3 out of 4 black women will never marry in this country. That means you are going to die alone if you don't do something about it. What's your plan? I said something the other day to a woman that a female's purpose on the planet is a male. Your purpose here is to multiply. A man goes out and makes he brings home the food, you multiply it and you make a meal. Man gives you a seed, you multiply and you make a family. You're an incubator and a multiplier. That's your purpose. If you're not going to have a man or children, what's your purpose? What is it going to look like? And see, far too many women have decided, I'm going to work, I'm going to have business. Okay, but what does that life look like? And are you doing that just because you don't know how, you haven't learned how, you lack the skills to actually end up dealing with a relationship? You didn't get a chance to practice growing up. No, I don't think a lot of them want to be alone. I just don't think a lot of them really thought about it. Micah, you got to join. And if the large majority of you are never going to marry, that's the stat. Why are you all right with that? See, if the stat is 3 out of 4 black women won't marry, the way a man's mind works, a man will be like, damn that, I'm gonna be one of the ones that does. I'm gonna find me one and I'm gonna keep it. That's why it blows my mind when you have these women who have gotten married or are in long-term relationships and you're throwing your men away. You are married or you're in long-term relationships and you're throwing your men away. Makes no sense. Hello?
Hi, my name is Mika. How you doing today?
Good. You called in the other day.
I did,
Okay. What do you have on the top?
but what I wanted to add to this is I know you mentioned that women need to hold on to their men, but I guess what I'm getting from that first caller, the one that you dissected, is she wanted something that she didn't express or wasn't self-aware enough to choose properly. So I guess my question to you, if possible, is how can women choose the right guy? So I know we need to level up in terms of fitness, in terms of therapy, and our image and all of that. And then once you do that and you are the package, how do you
Okay,
choose
okay.
so you're not regretting?
Well, first of all, let me go help you on a couple of things. One, the woman that I spoke to earlier, she was lying.
Oh.
She wasn't being completely forthcoming. Women like that develop a way of speaking, lie of omission,
Image and all of that.
Yes.
lies of omission,
Do that, and you are. How do you choose?
lies of omission. She got married. And let's just take it for what you said. She wasn't self-aware. She didn't mature. She evolved, and she didn't say it up front. The 2 kids in that thing, right?
Right.
Why you tell me? Why does she get to change her mind with children involved?
Mm.
Why does she get to change her? Why does she get to decide? You know what? I didn't ask this question before I signed the legally, spiritually binding state contract and the covenant between me and my God. Why does she get to decide to change that?
I guess she was just trying to pay tit for tat, right? So she see other men, they get to cheat and they
Well,
they get to gain weight. So
what I don't know is she made the covenant between her and God and said, I will take this man. She signed the legal state contract. Why does she get to change and destroy that just because of money?
I can't answer that question. I wish I could. I guess what she's trying to say is people evolve over time, but you're right. When kids are involved, I mean, I
Even if
don't
their
know.
kids weren't involved, no kids were involved. See, what she wanted, and women like her want, is they want men to do their part. If she'd have gained weight, or she'd have lost her job, or she'd have fell on hard times, she would have wanted her husband to fulfill his part of the vow the covenant. And if he'd have walked away from her, see, there's a social contract. You know what a social contract is?
Peer pressure, I guess. I
No, a
don't know.
social contract. A social contract. Okay, we live in a city. We live in a world that there's a social contract between men and women. There's a social contract between people, the citizens of a country and the government. There's a social contract. And the social
Oh, so
contract
like common courtesy,
no.
right?
It's not common courtesy. There's a contractual obligation. See, the contract between men and women used to be this: my non-sexual attention for your sexual attention, your womb and my exclusive access. You bear my children, and for the and for bearing my children and sexual access, I'll provide a roof over your head and food and to take care of those children. And you and I do this together. See, what we've allowed in this country is called no fault divorce. Women and men, but women overwhelmingly are the one that operate on this. Women get change relationships with their feelings, and there's no fault. See, there is a fault. If she'd have went before a judge and said, "Judge, I want to exit my marriage," and the judge would have said, "Well, what is the cause? Infidelity, abuse, some sort of dangerous environment for the family?" No, our house ain't big enough. All right. Well, that's not enough, ma'am. Well, I've evolved and he's not. Well, you need to work it out. She had no grounds. That's why I said it was a petty reason. Today, women are treating relationships like the vows are just requests or guidance, instead of you actually promising before God to do what you say you're going to do. Do you hear any of the women who take these vows speaking like they took something like they made an oath that was serious?
No.
Then why would I care about her freaking evolution or anything else like that? It's completely selfish. Her daughters were involved. And here's the funny thing: she's still acting as though she's somewhat married to the guy.
Yeah.
Happy wife, you're up. So there's Galaxy A20, iPhone, Jacoby's phone, Janique, and somebody else. Happy wife, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am well. What's your first name?
Stephanie.
Stephanie, how old are you?
I'm 28.
Are you married or unmarried?
I'm married.
Okay, what you got for me on the topic?
In terms of Black women, in terms of, being, if they want to live alone or die alone, excuse me, or be married or get together, I think a lot of Black women have a lot of issues with just being submissive, just doing whatever your man requires you to do. And it just baffles me. I have a lot of friends and I'm around a lot of people and they're miserable and they've had good men in their lives and they just blow it. They just blow it just because they just don't listen. They don't know how to listen. They don't listen to nobody.
Well, why are you? My question is, Jonique, you're up next. Why are you friends with women like they're single? The women you're speaking of are single. The women you're speaking of are single, unmarried.
Right.
Why are you friends with them?
I don't have any friends, sir.
Oh, okay. Just, you said friends. A lot of my friends.
Well, I'm just trying to be general, but just women in my life, they complain, and simply it's just do what your man says, cling to him. And I've been with my husband for 8 years, and we have one child together, and we're going strong. And I have no complaints.
Well, let me go ahead and put you on the side because they're going. Hold on.
Okay.
Who is this? Jonique or Jacoby? Who's that?
This is
Jacoby, sir.
Oh, you're the dude. Jonique, go ahead.
Hi, Kevin.
What do you got on the topic?
I guess the last situation was really sad with that lady. And my question to you, I guess is a little bit different from hers,
Uh-huh.
but it relates to being over, I guess, 35. My question specifically is, how do you find, I guess, a good man if you're not looking for money,
Hello?
that you have your
Hold on,
own?
Tanisha. Okay. You got your own. What kind of, are you a millionaire? Multi-millionaire?
No, of course not.
I don't know, sis. I don't know. When you say you got your own, I'm thinking you like, you set.
So no, no, no. So my situation is I'm currently in the process of pushing to make six figures within like the next 2 years.
Okay, but you're 35.
Yes.
And you're in no man's land.
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you. What do you want to be married?
I
Do you
do.
want children?
Okay, so I actually have one.
Do you want more?
I'm open to it.
Okay. Why do you wait this long?
So I put my education first
There you
because
go. Dummy. Seriously. I'm saying it lighthearted, but that's ridiculous.
I
You got
know.
a kid and no husband, and now you talk about you open to it. So the man you marry can't even get a kid out of you.
It's a possibility. I just
But
feel
you're
like
high
at this
risk,
point,
ma'am. And if you're six figure, let's be real. Are you going to the average black man in this country earns $40,000 a year. Would you be all right with marrying an average run of the mill decent God fearing black man?
possibly.
That's bullshit. Stop lying. If you're going to ask me for free on my show, you're going to tell me the truth. Or
Okay.
you're not going to
No,
tell
I
me that.
wouldn't. I'm gonna keep it real. I wouldn't.
Okay, so again, how old is your child?
He'll be 18 next year.
18. And where's his daddy?
Wherever he is,
All right,
not
so
in
you
my
had a
life.
child at 17.
I got pregnant at 17. I had him at 18.
All right. Huh.
Come on, help me out.
Well, it's pretty damn dire. What's the longest relationship you've ever had?
About 9 years.
How long ago was that?
About 6 years ago.
It was 15 years. 15 years.
Mhm.
Why didn't y'all marry?
Infidelity. He cheated on me. Had a child. So I ended it.
Okay, but in year what? 1 or year 9?
I'm sorry. Say that
In
again.
year 1? And not in year 1 or year 9?
In year 9.
What about the other 8 freaking years?
I know. I felt like it was just
Man,
we were
this is all. See what I'm talking about? Okay, I'll be honest. In all likelihood, ma'am, you're in the category of men who probably already met their man and you blew it. You've had too many chances. You had a child at 18 and 17, and you still were able to find the man in the middle of being a baby mama. You had a man for 8 years, yet you you couldn't marry him for some reason. And then because he decided to cheat in year 9, you end it. But the other 8 years, see, there's something going on with you. First line of thought was going to be therapy. Second line is what do you really have to bring to it?
I've been in
But listen, I got to get to other people. The other
Sorry.
thing is, what do you really have to bring to men who are in the top 10% of earners? Why would they want you?
That's what I've been trying to figure out.
Well,
I
how
guess
tall
I'm
are
not.
you?
I'm 5'9". I weigh 175
So
pounds.
you're overweight.
I guess
No,
so.
not you guess so. What is that? What is the average weight for a woman? What is the normal
For
weight for a woman?
my
Your height.
height,
Yeah, what's the normal weight for
about
your height?
160,
Oh,
150, 160
no, normal a woman your height should be about 135.
for 5'9".
My mother's 5'9". I'm an image consultant. I do this for real in life.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin.
I'm just honest, ma'am. We've got to I got to be direct with sisters because you've been told so many bull crap things that have deluded you to think you could be out here to be unmarried, wanting a man who's in the top 10% of earners with no real, with, for some reason, you couldn't marry the guy that you were with for 9 years. You couldn't marry the baby daddy. I don't get it. And you got to figure it out. Well, first things first, you're going to have to drop your standards. I mean, if you had to rank yourself on looks, just your face, scale of 1 to 10, you cannot use 7. What would it be?
I'll say a 6.
Then you have to throw the body part in there too. And the body drops you. You're average, man.
I know.
So why can't you do and see the fact that you don't want average? And you, and here's the thing, you don't want average, and you'd be lucky to get it. Let me say that to you and every other woman that is in your position. You don't want average, and you'd be blessed to get average. But if that's really what it comes down to, there are too many black women with a shortage of black men, and black men are not taking deals like they did in my generation. Black men are not taking baby mamas. They're not being stepfathers. They're not doing this shit anymore. No men. They're just like, no. So, outside of that, you're on the verge of booking 6 figures. You need to book your one-on-one consult if you really want to get into it. That's the best I can do in about 5 minutes. But it's going to cost you money to figure this out.
I appreciate you, Kevin. Thank you.
Appreciate me and go book your consult. That's how you really appreciate it. He see, when it comes to money, money tells the truth of women. Money tells the truth of women. That's why that one woman I kicked off that show that time, and she got mad. All right. Thanks, Janique. No, seriously, dog. I try to make light of this, man, but this is, I don't understand. I asked to unmute, and whoever unmutes first. Tanisha, how are you?
Hello?
Tanisha, how are you? How are you?
Hi, I'm a newbie. Like, I just discovered you probably today or yesterday.
Uh-oh. Well,
but I'm so intrigued.
What do you got on? What do you got on me? What do you got on me for the topic?
So I kind of came with a question, if possible. I was wondering if. Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I was wondering if a low income earning Black woman, would she be considered
Come on now, I got other people.
Sorry, I'm trying to find my words. Would she be considered valuable enough for a high value man or average?
It depends what you look like.
How
tall are you? How tall are you?
I am 5'7".
What dress size?
I believe a 2.
And how much do you weigh?
Last time I weighed myself, I was 120 exactly.
Okay. And you're how old again?
I am 26.
26. Any children?
No, okay. Thank God.
On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rank your looks? Just your face. With no 7.
Actually, a solid 8.
Okay, so you put yourself up there with Beyonce.
No, I'm just natural beauty. Okay. So all right. I've been told.
Let me give you a range. I used to use Pam Grier, but that's for an 8. But a more recent 8 is Beyonce. Beyonce's an 8. Kelly Rowland's a 9. Halle Berry, Dorothy Dandridge are a 10. Yes. Thelma from Good Times, Bernadette, yeah, she's a 7. 6 is cute, but not pretty. Okay. So 5 is, normal or average, and 4 is below. So, are you in college? Did you go to college?
Yes, I did. I went to
Did you graduate from Did you graduate from college?
I went to a media school. So yes.
Right. So you say an under-earning woman. Do successful, rich, and or wealthy men approach you? That's a yes.
I honestly don't feel like I'm currently in an environment.
Okay. Where are you at?
At the moment. I work on a
Well,
cruise ship, so
okay, but
I'm kind of limited.
what city do you live in now?
Oh, I apologize. Yes. I'm in Cleveland right now.
All
Yes.
right. Well, successful men approach beautiful women, and if you're really an 8, 9, or 10, you'd have men of means approaching you wherever you go.
Okay.
So if that's not your life, that's not your look.
Okay.
So the question is, can a under earning woman do what?
Basically get a average or
You
high
get an average man.
earning.
You get an average normal man, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But your job, if you're on a cruise ship, how before Corona, how often were you really in one place?
Yeah.
All right then. So your job, you need to quit that shit. And you need to move to a city where there are more black people if you want black people. See, black women, you guys act like you can just decide to pick a man out of a scarcity. You can't be on a little bitty cruise ship and live in Cleveland and expect to find uh, a plethora of brothers
Yeah.
at 26. And
Yeah.
so that's really what it comes down to. That will give you a better shot than anything else. Leave Cleveland. Move to
Yeah, that's definitely within the cards. I apologize.
move to one of the top 10 cities for brothers. We're pretty much black folks are concentrated in 10 cities, and then get around places where married people go. Don't do the nightclub scene. I've already covered this in the video. Though. I got plenty of stuff on this topic though. But yeah, I mean, the good thing is you're 20. You have no kids. You have no kids, and if you're in shape, and if you're cute, if you're normal, average, of course you can. There's no reason you can't, from a look standpoint. But then it goes back to the next thing is relationships. A20, you need to Galaxy A20, you need to unmute, and iPhone, you need to unmute. But then it comes down to relationships and things like that. How long you had a relationship and da da da. Hello.
Hello, Kevin. This is Ann. How are you?
Hi, Ann. How are you?
Hi. I'm doing pretty good, thank you.
Are you married or divorced? Are you married or unmarried?
I'm married.
Okay. What you got for me on the topic?
Okay, so I know it's about about Black women and this idea about will Black women die alone or whatever the statistic is. I was just thinking because I'm from the Northeast. I'm from Boston. I've lived in California. Now I'm in South Carolina. And what people gauge as attractive and successful shifts, or whatever they're looking for shifts and values. Like here, I see a lot of married couples.
Okay, you may say, okay. So
Yeah.
what's your ultimate point? Because what you may see anecdotally does not change the landscape as a whole.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like studied like you are and stuff like that. I'm not a social psychologist or anything like that. I guess, the idea in my head is, in Boston, I might not see that much, but now I'm in South Carolina, I see it often.
What's the idea in your head? I don't get it.
Well, I mean, is it really that it's impossible, or do you have to go where people like you are valued? Like let's say for a woman or whatever. I mean, and let's just be honest.
Okay. So slow down.
Uh-huh. I'm a little nervous, okay?
I don't know. I mean, I still got to run a show.
Okay.
No, the numbers matter. And you say go where who's valued, the men or the women?
Either one.
No. That's wrong.
Uh-huh. It's wrong?
Yes. Let me tell you why it's wrong. Women control access to sex. Men control access to relationship. There's in a relationship where it comes down to relationships, men are the ones that are valued as the catch. See, too many women have this thing backwards, thinking just because you're the prize, just because you're attractive, it doesn't matter if you're in Anchorage. You have to go to where the kind of men you want live, and then be competitive amongst the people there. Are women today, Black women today, competitive for the kind of men they want?
I understand what you mean when you say competitive.
Well,
I completely understand.
and therein lies the rub. See, this is blood sport. All is fair in love and war, and too many sisters are approaching this like they got all the time in the world, like all the cards on their side, and all they got to do is walk outside, and then they got men after men after men just pick them off the tree. That's not how it is. There's a reason 1 in 4 black women will marry in their lifetime. That means if I had you in a room with 4 black women, 3 black women, 3 black women and you, that means the other 3 will likely never marry in their lifetime.
Can I just mention something? Just speaking from personal experience, I was given a lot of misinformation as I was growing up.
Okay.
I don't know where my parents got it from, but the whole thing about going to school and
It's our culture.
And all this stuff and talk proper and perfect and this, that kind of thing. And it's just like, they never tell you like, okay, yes, you should,
Who's they?
bring my parents.
Okay, your
Like,
mom and dad
or just,
married?
or people,
Wait, hold
or my culture.
Hold on.
Yes.
Slow down. Breathe. Well, your mother and father
I drink
married.
a lot of espresso.
Well,
Yes.
Okay, but that calm the hell down. Well, your mother and father married? Yes. Okay. In the black community, are relationships pushed as being valuable? That's a yes or no question.
Yes.
No, they are not.
Okay.
No, they are not.
No. Can I say
they are
something?
not. No, ma'am. No,
explain?
no, ma'am. No. You live in the same world as I do. And we have the strong, independent, I don't need no man thing in the black community. We have songs about it. I don't care about your anecdotal experience. In the culture, it is not pushed, and you cannot say that and be honest. No,
Sir,
you can either. Okay,
please, no. Can I just
you cannot
explain?
overtalk me,
Literally,
ma'am. Okay, I'm gonna knock your espresso ass back to the waiting room. Understand something? We can have a conversation, but you cannot be disingenuous.
I am being. I wanted to specify.
I said in the culture.
From Beaufort, South
I
Carolina.
said in the culture.
That's black culture.
I guess this broad don't get it. I'll show you better than I can tell you.
Maybe not.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm in here. Can you hear me?
Hello?
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 Yes.
Just a second. Let me go ahead and see if I can help get this woman who's tweaking on caffeine out of here. Look. It doesn't work when you try to overtalk me and I got to do a show for 3,000 people. Relationships are not pushed in Black America. Neither is marriage or family. It's not that's not our culture. And you were going to try to say what to that?
Is that can I speak now or?
Yes.
Okay. What I was going to say was that my parents are from Beaufort, South Carolina. I never knew an unmarried couple. I didn't grow up seeing that. And then I was going to say,
Let me stop you right there.
From
Let me stop you right there. That's fine. That's anecdotal. You still understand the Black culture. Is it pushed in our popular movies, media?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Where? Name me five popular. Okay. Tell me where Black marriage is pushed to the Black community. Go ahead. Tell me some places.
Are you talking about cities or are you talking about movies?
No, ma'am. I'm talking about whatever you're talking about. I said, is it pushed in Black media and Black movies and Black culture? You said yes. Tell me where.
In South Carolina.
And I said, ma'am.
No,
ma'am. I was specific. I said media.
Oh,
movies
okay.
And culture.
The Best Man.
The Best Man. That's one movie.
Love Jones.
That's not a marriage.
They got married eventually,
no,
didn't they?
No, they did not. That's not a marriage.
Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's see. I don't know. I guess I can't really think of too many movies.
No, let me stop you right there. You know why you can't think of them? Because they're not there. So when you say they are pushed, and you cannot do it. See, you can go ahead and want to believe that, but see, facts are stubborn things. They are. If you go back in the chat room after this show is over and look at what people are saying to what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
it defies belief that a black woman can honestly say that black relationships, positive black relationships, let alone marriage, is pushed in the black culture in the United States. When we got
I
songs
guess I
talking
should.
about, we got songs from Fantasia talk about baby mama. We got songs from Brandy, the singer Brandy, 40 plus years old, talk about baby mama. Uh, Beyonce, all the single ladies, independent. I mean, come on, man. It is all throughout our culture. We don't have a culture of relationship. When you think of
Can
black family in this, when the average person thinks about black family in this country, what does it look like?
can I
When
say
the
something?
average black
Because
when the average person thinks of black family in this country, what does it look like?
okay, can I don't know what the average person thinks of,
When you see it
because to
advertised,
me, media is the
in
natural.
popular media, when you see it advertised on commercials, do you see strong black male fathers?
More now than before, but the media didn't raise me.
I
My
don't
parents did.
care if the media
My
raised you. It is
community
our
did. My
culture.
my
Okay, I'm
the
done with you.
media
I'm
didn't
done with you. I'm
range.
not gonna argue with you. Go back to your fucking husband. I don't care. Bye. Fuck's wrong with you? That woman ain't. If you think that woman is married, woo! I'm not gonna sit there and argue with some crazy. And that's one of those women that see women like that are the kind of woman that's married and she goes around and tries to be the smartest married person around all her single friends, and she uses her marriage as a weapon to bludgeon single women. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you. And you?
I am well. How do you pronounce your name?
Ketsia.
Ketsia. Okay.
Yes.
Black women, case study. Would you rather be together or die alone?
Well, it looks like, the black community seems to have an attitude that, they don't want to take any crap and they rather be alone than to overcome whatever you need to overcome in order to have a successful marriage. So that seems to be the theme.
Okay.
And overall, I'm usually sleeping at this time, so it's really difficult for me to call in on your show. But I did want to call in to emphasize the fact that I think that you're right on. I'm one of these women, I guess by accident, that ended up marrying a high value man. I didn't understand my asset of having a high value of market value when you're young and you're beautiful. I come from a very religion background, so my physical attraction was not something that I wanted to use. But I was approached a lot by men,
So how long you been
high value
married?
men. Altogether, we've been together for 20 years on and off.
Okay.
So married altogether 10 years.
You have any children?
Yeah. Yeah, we have 2 children together.
A daughter?
Yeah, 1 daughter and 1 son.
What are you going to teach your daughter about marriage, and your son?
Well, I'm teaching them by the way I'm conducting my life. I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
I do have.
How old is your daughter?
She's 4.
Okay. And how old is your son?
He's 7.
Okay. Children learn a lot by viewing. That's true. But it would also do well if you were to talk to your daughter and openly talk to her and say the things that she needs to know. Don't assume.
Yeah, as she gets older, for sure.
Well,
I think
but see, the thing is, she's 4. She should already be learning about this. They start young. They're supposed to start. Okay, they're supposed to start young. I'm not talking about marriage, but I'm talking about. My daughter was going to princess birthday parties at 5 years old. And you're how old?
I'm now 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're around.
We cook together. We cook together.
Cook together. That's good. But I'm talking about. Okay. I'm 51. And I remember you didn't have to wait to be 18 to talk about relationships. Boys and girls relationship stuff, that was early on. And they need to start hearing it from their mothers and fathers before they hear it from their friends on the playground or on the internet. So,
Right.
I mean, oftentimes parents wait to talk about relationships because they fear to talk about sex. And like it or not, if you live in this country, you better get ahead of it, because you'll find out that by the time they're 10 years old, these kids are talking about oral and anal, and yes, I've had to deal with it myself.
I mean, I think I talk about it indirectly with her, like
but
it could be little things like,
and that's why I say that. And see why indirectly, why not be direct? Because she has an understanding of a child. Why not be direct?
I thought maybe that 4 years old was too young, maybe, but maybe right. Okay.
Where do babies come from? You can use the stork, the cabbage patch, but kids need to understand that the opposite of them has a purpose. Why do other cultures? Where are you from? Where are your people from?
Originally Haiti.
All right. Well, go back to the continent. At what age did girls start learning their place in the village? They start learning it very early, man.
I show her videos of her birth.
I'm talking about. Okay. You're still missing the relationship with the boys.
Okay.
You're not getting it. And I'm talking about teaching her how to be a girl. She can learn that from you. I'm talking about hearing it from her mother as to what men are for. And you said it yourself. You just kind of lucked up. Well, guess what? If you don't take control of this and steer it, she may not get as lucky as you. Because what I'm hearing from you right now is troubling for me.
Oh, okay. I mean, I didn't see it that way. So I mean,
I'm just bringing it to your attention, ma'am. Don't wait till she's 10. She's 4. Her mind is still young. It's forming. And at what age do you think these kids actually start talking about the opposite sex? I mean, I remember kids playing doctor at 7 years old, and come on, man, that was 1974.
Right.
All right.
Okay. Maybe I didn't realize that they're that aware of that.
Yeah, honestly, most black people are afraid to talk about relationships because you don't want to talk about sex, and that's some bullshit. We got to get over that. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it, though. I'm not trying to hear from a bunch of dudes on this subject. I didn't ask dudes to join in here. If you're a man, I'm not asking you to join the subject. I no offense, but when I have the guys call in, the guys call in. You guys keep trying to call in. It's not your show. It says right there in the title, would black women rather get together or die alone? I don't think anybody wants to hear from black men on what black women are thinking. Respect the show, guys. When it's your turn to call in, we'll have shows with you. So right. It even says it in the link. Ladies, join the show. So when I see a big bald head guy join the chat room, I'm like, you got to be tripping. Or you can't read. And that's not cool. You need to unmute Soroya. See, think about the call I just had.
Hello.
Go ahead. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
How do you pronounce your first name?
Soria.
Soria. Thank you, Soria. How old are you?
Yes. Hi. I'm 34.
34. Uh-oh. What are you in?
I'm married. I'm married.
Oh, yeah, she's not in the danger zone. But you're still in danger. Okay.
No.
How long you been married?
I just wanted to call.
How long you been married? How long have you been married?
5 years.
Okay. Go ahead.
5 years. I was calling because I hear a lot of the women saying they want 6-figure men. And when I got married 5 years ago, my husband made over 6 figures. But as soon as I got married, my father passed away from cancer. My husband, another year after that, he had... Hello?
I'm here.
Oh, a year after that, my husband had a stroke. And then another year after that, he had a heart attack. Mm-hmm. But I had to help him through all of that. He had to learn how to walk again. Very smart man. Had to learn how to walk again and everything.
You
We
got
had
how
our ups
much
and
older?
downs.
How old is he?
He's 36
Okay.
now. He was young.
Really?
Some of it is genetic. His father had it
Okay.
and things like,
Go ahead.
But the point I'm trying to make is that I had to go through all of that. Yes, he was grouchy at times. Yes, I had my things and stuff like that.
Hold on just a second. 4 is not too young to be learning about what the sexes are for. About the black people are crazy in this thing. Go look at your Asian counterparts. Go look at your Jewish counterparts. Go look at people over in the Middle East. Go look over at your people who are over in over in India. You guys are killing me with this stuff. Talk about it's too young. It's too young to be talking about sex. But little boys are made of snips and snails and puppy dog tails. Girls are sugar and spice and everything nice. What do you think these rhymes came up for? Shut up. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So my point is that I think a lot of times women, when they think about getting men, they think, oh, I'm going to get this guy and everything is going to be my fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to stick through it even when you have the hard times, because now his mind, nothing happened to his mind. His mind is the same. You would never know he had any of this happen. God blessed us, and he's back making his money and everything else. So it's like nothing ever happened.
Okay,
basically.
so when your husband fell ill, did you have anybody asking whether or not did you have any female friends asking you whether or not you were going to stay or leave?
I didn't have that as much, but I had people say, "Oh, you have a lot of patience, girl. That was me. I don't know if I could do all of that."
Okay, let's talk
that
to me
type
about
of
that.
thing.
Talk to me about that.
Hmm.
You had female friends saying that you got a lot of patience to deal with your husband.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
because they felt like, they said, "Oh, she's, you're so young to go through that," and that type of thing, and they wouldn't have been able to deal with that. I mean, I literally had to help with everything, even he had a small business and things like that.
I get it, but I want to focus right there.
Okay.
You were how old when your husband suffered a stroke?
That was in 2016, and I'm 34 now. So
30.
I was in my early 30s.
You had
yeah.
friends saying, basically, you better than me because I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
How'd that make you feel?
Yeah. It's emotional for me now because I love my husband, and he loves me. He was there for me. And now that I'm looking back, like, we're better than ever. The money's coming in more. You understand? Because
but let's
when
not
you work
focus
together,
let's not focus on the money. I want to stay right there. Because was it more than one woman? Was it more than one conversation?
It was just the general, it was the general, the general feeling, and I hear it more.
I do, but see, that's
even
the
with
point.
other
That's
people.
the point. That a woman is married to her husband, and then when a rocky time happens, the single girlfriends were not being supportive. They were more likely to see. This is why I mean dying alone. Do those women sound like they would? If your husband had to be married to one of those women, they sound like the kind of women that would unplug the machine.
Leave.
I mean, just think about it. You're young and you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. So basically, that marriage is only supposed to be complete upside. There can't be any troubles or hardships. Are you still friends with these women?
No, not all of them, because some of them, even when I got married, they didn't even show up.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what it's like. So you're out there.
Wow. Well, good for you.
I'm telling women now, when you get married, if you think everybody's going to be rallying around you and it's going to be so perfect, it may not. But you have to stick it out, because they're going to be the ones to suffer, not you.
There you go. I'm going to focus more on that point.
That's
but thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.
See what we hear, though? Sisters sitting back saying, see, again, what you're hearing is far too many. For the sisters that are like this, they want men to do their part of it, but they can't be counted on to do their part. You better vet well, because guys are often like, well, then how do you choose? Well, you make a practical choice. You don't make a romantic choice. That's another one of the reasons why having a gap between you and your spouse. Well, it really depends on what it is you're trying to accomplish. You got to know what you want and what fits you. But it sounds pretty. What I think is going to start happening in this country is it's easy to decide to stay or leave in a land of plenty when there's plenty of meat, there's plenty of bread, there's plenty of water. See, when there's plenty, women can say whatever the hell they want to. Men can say whatever they want to. But just think, 3 months ago, you couldn't get toilet paper. 3 months ago, you couldn't get hand sanitizer. In 3 months, we'll be fully back into flu season. We're about to the upcoming stimulus, the money. See, I didn't get that money. When you make over a certain amount of money, you didn't get no $1,200 or whatever it was I was getting. You don't get all that. When all them people, I still know people who haven't gone back to work, and they're not gonna go back to work. How many people are familiar with Clarisonic? Clarisonic is they make one of the best face brushes in the world. But they went out of business. They couldn't survive. What you're about to find out is a lot of women gonna be sitting around, hey, big head, what's going on? Because there ain't plenty. Hey, Gabby.
How you doing, Kevin?
I am well. How old are you?
I'm 22. I'm single.
Okay.
But I just wanted to call in and agree to, your point. I mean, I do have a lot of family members that are married, and my elder sister to me, who's 28, just recently got married.
You're 22?
So I do believe 28.
You're 22?
Yes, I'm 28.
You're 28?
No, I'm 22.
Okay.
I'm 22,
Okay.
but my sister, I was talking about, who's 28, recently just got married. So I was.
So when you get
calling in just
married?
I'm working on
Why
that.
is that a joke?
It's not. I mean,
Okay.
you know,
You got any
it's in the
active
plan.
prospects?
I do. I will say that.
All right. You sound all laid back, like, yeah, it's all good, I'm just chilling and shit, blah blah blah. Okay.
But I wanted to agree with you on, do women want to get married? I do believe women do want to get married, but as you mentioned earlier in the show, I feel the influence, in the media has a big hold on us right now.
I think more than the media, because I believe
Oh,
that
definitely.
more than the media, because today, black people in this country pretty much follow black media, which is online. We're not really so much held down by the news media and movies like we were even 10 years ago. I mean, if you took the average black person's smartphone or computer, you'd see a bunch of black platforms that they follow. When you get married, do you want to have children?
Definitely. I mean, I don't want to have children unless I am married.
Of course. So are you going?
Yeah.
Are you going to hyphenate? Or are you going to take his last name?
I'll probably take his last name.
Wow. Are you going to do love, honor, and obey?
I mean, when I get there, Kevin.
Well, you'll get there when you know what it is, though. So when I asked about the hyphenate, you said probably, and I'm like, do you want to be a stay-at-home wife or do you want to work?
I definitely do want to be a stay-at-home wife.
Well, let me give you a little heads up. That whole taking his last name thing, that's not optional with the kind of men that can afford to make you a stay-at-home wife.
I understand. That's why I said I would take his last name.
You said you probably would. You said you probably would.
I said I would.
Now I can run it back, sweetheart. I listen really well. You said I probably would. Maybe you thought you said you would. You said I probably would. But
well, from my experience and my lineage, my mother and my, grandmothers have always taken my grandfather's last name.
Right. Well, cool. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so I'll speak to the chat room. Look, ladies, if you want that not taking his last name is a non-starter. And children, if you're not planning on producing him any heirs, honestly, go get you a couple of girlfriends, and y'all go in on a mortgage, and y'all can be each other's in case of emergency. These men are not playing these games anymore. I'm just being honest, they're not playing. I was lightheartedly kind of saying how kind of laid back you are because non-black women, they are hyped to go find their men. And far too many black women almost act like y'all are entitled, especially younger black women who tend to be a little bit more attractive. And that may not be you, but I'm gonna tell you, if you one of these young ladies who think, it's
I mean, I
3
think it's
years
all
happen like
about
that,
respect.
huh?
I just wanted to call in respectfully to your
Oh yeah, I'm
show.
talking to. I
I
wasn't
mean, I
talking
did
to.
have a question
Go
for you
ahead,
as well
because I was talking
too.
to the chat room. Go ahead. What's your question?
So, I mean, you talk a lot about, different ethnicities, showcasing marriage and unionship. But, I also see it from a standpoint of like generations because, I study economics and I find, I do see a lot of millennials getting married, especially Black millennials. Like I just mentioned, my sister and her 28 and 26s. But, as far as like Generation Z for me, or even like, the generation before millennials, you don't see a lot of them encouraging marriage. I mean, but even baby boomers, I
What's the
feel
question?
more big
What's the
on
question?
marriage. Well, do you feel it's a generational thing as well?
Yeah, I think the generations, the younger men, millennials, have seen what Generation X men and baby boomer men had to deal with the Generation X women and baby boomer women. That's what millennials are seeing. They're like, I don't want no parts of that. You listen to the women on my channel who tend to be 40 plus. You got millennial men saying, "Oh no, I saw my daddy have to deal with that. I couldn't be around my."
Yeah.
And Zennials are even more uh, uh, to the point to where they're like, no, you know, they were raised to look at you guys as they're equals.
Yeah.
So
No,
the
definitely.
problem is the Zennial women and the millennial women. You're supposed to be actively wanting to be courted and to find a husband, not laid back, not just chilling in the cut. That's supposed to be a motivating factor. The North Star. Forget your degree, forget your job. Your motivating factor is supposed to be to become Mrs. Somebody before 23 so you can get started with your biological purpose. So when men see that the women of their generation aren't moving that way, they can't really start getting excited about doing what they're supposed to do. That's really where it comes down to. That's why you get a lot of younger men calling in and saying the women in my generation are not even thinking about it. Uh, it's your generation are not having sex like the previous generation, not actually dating. Even if dating existed, you're not having relationships like
Oh
previous
yeah.
generations. Y'all come
Yeah.
together
Dating's completely
for
different.
hookups, and then you leave. And sadly, talking to a lot of younger women, it's almost like talking to men. Because when you
Mm.
only come together for sex, then you judge a man based upon his ability to make you orgasm and to excite you for short periods of time. And that's not how you're biologically wired. So, uh, hope you get some caffeine up in there and get a little bit more hype.
I'm fine, Kevin. Not.
Yeah, no, you ain't. Nah, you ain't. No, you ain't. I'm good. I'm chilling, G. I'm sub, man. I'm just up in this mug. Yeah. All right. It sounded like some good sticky she was smoking, but all right. I hope you have some. Yeah. Hold on. You know what? Y'all want to know what the equivalent of that is? Here's the equivalent of that. Oh, we good? That was a good show, man. I like that. That was good. What happened? So, at the end of the day, when it comes right down to it, got to ask yourself some serious questions. Some serious questions. Do you want to be, are you going to be married or are you going to die alone? You know what? Before I even do that, you know what? I'm going to play something else. You know what? We're going to go into a little bit of overtime because I want to play something from yesterday. I want to put something from play something from yesterday. Play something from yesterday. Yesterday, when I was talking to that one woman, and it was like pulling teeth. Um, it was really shocking to me that so many women just think that life is that they could just decide to do whatever they want when they want to. Let's see. Let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
Four children.
Mm-hmm.
She instilled in her daughters,
How
you
many? How
don't
many?
need a
How many
man.
fathers?
3.
You don't have time. I mean, 35. You don't have time to waste. You need to practice. It was like just like all guys going to jail. Make a practical decision. I don't want to hear about romance. I don't want to hear about any of that. I need to hear about your. I need to hear about your hospice care plan.
Oh, my I began living with my mother and grandmother.
To have a home health care nurse. In jail.
No, not jail, but there was a lot of it was too much arguing.
Yes. How are you?
I'm good in yourself.
I'm good. What is driving black women crazy these days?
Well, I'm going to say a couple of things. I will say not having a father in the home. I will also say characteristics of the women of the baby boomer generation and the feminist movement and how that influenced their lives. And also, a lot of women, young girls, young women have not been taught how to date, have not been taught how to choose a good partner when while they're in college, that age of what did you say, like
You should be married by
20?
23.
Right. Yeah, I will admit myself. Okay, so I'm 46,
Mm-hmm.
and when I was 23, I was not thinking about a husband
You're
at
how old?
all.
46.
I'm 46 right now.
Okay. You say you weren't thinking about a husband. Of
At 23,
course not. You were taught not to.
right. I was taught. I had yes. I think I was a year out of college. Um, I started working in my field, and I was traveling. I was, living my best life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I felt the wall hitting me very early, like around 27. I don't. I just looked up one day and I realized most of my friends are married, and most of my friends had children or are expecting children.
Mm-hmm. So what? So
So
did you ever get married?
Yes, I did get married.
Okay.
But I'm not getting I'm in the process of a divorce.
Okay. In the
And
process
that
of a
was
divorce.
well, it's been 17 years.
Okay. Why are you in the process of a divorce after a 17-year marriage at 46? 46. Wait for the rest of it. Guys splitting after all this.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I will hold them to accountability. I didn't choose the right person,
Okay.
and it eventually became abusive.
Physically abusive or verbally abusive?
Physical, verbal,
To the
yes.
point to where cops are called and somebody's going to jail?
No, not jail, but there was a lot of it was too much arguing, too much stress, a
Any
lot of
children?
no children. I had some medical issues.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Well, the chances of I would say counseling does wonders.
I have been
I
to
mean couples
counseling.
counseling because
We would
hold on,
we did that twice.
hold on. Well, and I'm gonna tell you, see who just popped up on the screen? At 46 years old, he is now on speed dial, especially when you are overweight or obese. You might want to think about a third time because let me
Okay.
tell you out here, I'm gonna just be honest. You're 5 years younger than me. How tall are you?
I'm 5'8".
Dress size?
I'm going to tell you, and be honest, I am severely obese, and I'm working on that, and I've
Then you
lost
got
21.
nothing coming out here.
Roar!
By
I
yourself.
know.
No,
Yes, I know.
yummy. I mean, I gotta tell you,
Obese.
if you got a husband, you better try to figure out how to live with that man. You better y'all need to figure out how y'all don't need to kill each other. I'm serious. I'm gonna be dead.
I know you
Listen, I'm gonna
are.
be
I
dead.
know you. I
I'm not gonna
know.
look at the chat. Listen to what I'm saying. Look, women in previous generations could not just divorce this casually. And then if you're really obese, okay, how much do you weigh?
Right now, I am over 300 pounds.
All right. And how tall?
5'8".
All right. Anything. A fall. Well, you could be incapacitated. Do you make the kind of money to have a home health care nurse?
No, I don't.
24/7? No. Think about what I just asked. You are 46 years old, over 300 pounds. Been with your husband for the better part of 20 years, and you talking about divorcing in a pandemic? Say hello to the Grim Reaper. He's just ready to clean up because you were just asking for what I'm about to show you. The medical issues that come along with being morbidly obese. Diabetes.
I already have them.
Okay, then you cannot afford. Listen. One thing that tends to happen on this channel, guys, a lot is when I talk to older women, they tend to laugh at inappropriate times. That's a tell. I'm talking to the channel. Ma'am, you can't afford to live by yourself. That's just the bottom line truth. You have no children. You cannot afford to live by yourself at that weight with your issues. Move into separate rooms, become roommates, do the Will and Jada. But if you think divorce is going to do what? You're going to just have to pay all the bills in that space by yourself.
So, Kevin, may I say something?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Nicole B, you need to connect your microphone. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me explain what's going on right now. I was the one that left.
Mm-hmm.
And when I left, it was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I left because it was a huge blow up, which if I did not leave, I felt that it could have been a serious physical altercation. And before I left, I was not in the 300 range. I was a vegan. I was working out. I was in counseling. I was doing a lot of things. And when I moved back down south, um, years ago, my I began living with my mother and grandmother because my grandmother recently died in November,
Okay, sorry to
and
hear
she
that,
was
but I
99.
got three more
And
people.
she was
I need you to get to the
okay.
point.
She was 99. But anyway, getting to my point, I've recently gained 40 pounds in the past 2 years.
If you've not heard anything else this podcast, what effect do women have upon each other when men aren't around? Women tend to have a toxic effect upon each other when men aren't around. You've heard that over and over in this call, the previous calls, the callers.
That's what's
They're
going on.
40.
I've gained 40 pounds within the past 2 years.
Okay, man, but you were still, that means you were
So
260 before you left.
right,
Okay,
you
that's
are exactly right.
ma'am, that's not a small
So
woman. So I don't understand what.
no, it's not. It's not
So what's the
small. I know
so the point of telling me that story was what? You gained more weight?
I've gained more weight since moving back because I became an emotional eater.
All right, but the point of telling me that was what impact would that have on you living like roommates with your husband?
Oh, right. Honestly, if I went back to my husband, I know I would lose weight because we worked out together.
She just said when she was with the women, she was eating herself to death. Eating herself to death down there with all them women. But if she went back to her husband, she know it would have a positive effect on her. She'd lose weight because we work out together. Or maybe you should have hired your husband and paid him to be your personal trainer. Then he'd have a job. You sound crazy.
I don't want to sound.
You
I
sound
know I
crazy because
sound.
you just said if I went back to my husband, you would lose weight, which is a healthy thing.
I would.
Well, then,
It is a
but you
healthy
talk. But
thing.
listen, that's crazy. Then divorcing him is crazy because there's benefit
Okay.
to there's okay. You have benefit of having a man there who's already dealt with you for going on 20 years. Hey, K-Day. First off, my name is Kevin Samuels. Second of all, you are 1 millimeter away from getting kicked off this channel. Don't you ever approach me like that way again. Don't at me. Don't attempt to highlight me. And watch how you talk to me, lady. I don't know why y'all get off talking to people crazy. Not gonna find another one at 300 pounds. That's it. I need to stress that. And you're at the age to where you could die from heart attack, stroke, all these things. You need somebody around you. And you're saying if I went back to my husband, I will lose weight because we worked out together. Sounds like upside. See, check the ego.
Mm-hmm.
Make a practical decision. I don't want to hear about romance. I don't want to hear about any of that. I need to hear about your hospice care plan. I need to hear about your in case of emergency. I need to hear about your medical coverage. I need to hear about your deductible. I need to hear about your job. I need to hear about your benefits. For a morbidly obese, nearly 50-year-old woman, you have serious health issues on the horizon. I need to know how you're going to take care of those and pay for those with no children and no family. Before you talk about divorcing somebody. That's what I need. That's what I need grown women like yourself to be talking about.
Okay.
That's what you need to be talking about before you talk about divorce.
So I understand that, and right now the only plan I don't have is the hospice plan. I do have the in case of emergency.
Right. Okay. And how much? Are you rich?
I'm not rich.
Are you making over 6 figures a year?
No, I'm not making over six figures a
Do
year.
you have your retirement? Let me let you ladies understand how much money it takes for a nearly 50-year-old, 300 plus pound woman to leave a black man. I need you to understand that this is the amount of money it takes for her to feel like she's good. Black men is for 30. Do you have retirement, or you just working paycheck to paycheck like most Americans?
I do have retirement.
Okay, how much would you be making in retirement?
I'm currently working right now,
Would
and
I
I
mean? Could you? I
still
mean, would you be making? Are you going to be living on pauper's wages, or can you really afford to live?
I could afford to live.
Okay, let's talk.
Okay,
How much would you be making on retirement on a monthly basis?
$3,700 a month.
That's broke. $3,700 a month is enough money for her to feel like she don't need no black man. That's it. $44,000 a year. At $44,000 a year, a morbidly obese, nearly 50-year-old black woman got enough courage, guts, and that's all that's what they think you're worth, brother. That is what black women like her tell black men they are worth. Y'all need to let that sink in. 44 grand is enough for them to. So when the people who like to kick back and say, I heard about these mythical stories in the 70s where they say the black women kicked their men out of the house to get a government check, but I don't see any pictures of that. I don't see any evidence of that. You're telling me about that, but it never happened. Okay. You didn't believe things that I saw and men like myself saw and witnessed as children. Well, now you hear it. In 2020, you got 50-year-old, 300 plus pound black women willing to put their husband out of their marriage because she making $3,700 a month. You just can't argue it, man. It is where it is.
Okay.
That's broke, ma'am.
Okay.
That's not even $50,000 a year and morbidly obese. That's broke.
Okay.
Okay, okay. There's no need to get defensive. What I need
No,
you
I'm
to, what I
not.
need you to understand is you're in no financial position to be by yourself. You would do better staying with your husband and living as a roommate. But you know
So
what? But you know
may I
what?
add?
I'm just
Okay.
saying, ma'am. You're 300 pounds, ma'am, and you already got health complications. This is a practical decision. I'm not asking you to go back and be in love with this man. I'm saying you fall down and can't get to something. Something happens. Have you ever sustained an injury, a broken bone, anything?
I have sustained.
How do we start the broadcast? With the Kodokoshi, the epidemic in Japan of people dying alone, and I showed the pictures of what it looks like when somebody like this woman, or single, unmarried, no children, die alone. And the only way that anyone ever knows is because it looks like that. It smells that bad. And in Japan, they live on top of one another. They're not living in houses that are spaced out. And the questions I'm asking her are things she's never thought about, because all she can really get her mind around is when you hear her complaint about her black man that she been married to for 17 years, then you'll get it. It's worth it to possibly deal with everything I've discussed and more, or even to extreme something like this. Because of what? Pay attention.
an injury back in 2016.
What kind of injury? Nicole, you're next.
I slipped on black ice and tore my meniscus and ACL.
All right then. Well,
Slipped on black
divorce
ice.
sounds like
I don't.
a very
So may I?
a very irresponsible thing. Unless he just doesn't want you back and doesn't want to talk to you, doesn't want to deal with you, and just hates your guts.
It's
Y'all need to have a conversation.
okay. May I also add something to that?
Go ahead.
No
I need to
children.
get to
Okay,
Nicole.
so this is another reason why I left. He was not working. He has not worked in 9
Hold
years,
on,
and he
Nicole.
has
Let me
3.
mute you. Nicole, give me 3 minutes. Another reason she's leaving. He ain't worked. He ain't worked in 9 years. Hire him as your personal trainer. Apparently, he helped you. Take some of that $3,700 a month fortune you have and pay your personal trainer to keep you in a weight to where you won't slip and tear your ACL and your meniscus. Because you don't have no children and you don't have enough money to have elite level care. Whatever you paying for, whatever this woman is paying for, hospice, aftercare, this or whatever, she's still saying, I would rather have that than a black man who's my husband. I need y'all to focus on this. She is saying, I would rather be alone at 300 plus pounds and 50. That's how little black women like her value black men. And y'all want to build Wakanda? Without black couples, you can't have black nothing. I don't care if he ain't working. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care if he's not working. I mean, I'm
All right.
gonna be honest, I don't care if he's not working.
Okay.
Let me tell you why I don't care if he's not working.
Okay.
Are you gonna live in a one bed? What do you live in right now?
Right now, 3-bedroom home.
So can you? She's already living in a 3-bedroom home, away from her man, her husband. That's the level of care women like her have for black men. He ain't worked in 9 years. I'm not gonna argue that point. I'm gonna argue the point you married him and you've been married 17 years. And you ain't got nothing coming out here. I know you're a big girl, but you can't occupy all 3 of them rooms.
I sure can.
Then what the French toast is the difference? Practically.
The difference?
Yeah, what's the difference? He's not working. He's in one of those rooms and you got your husband in your house and y'all have an arrangement.
Okay.
You're paying the same bills, same mortgage, same utilities. See, this is what marriage really comes down to. What Will and Jada really did for the black community was great because they showed what it takes to really forget the fairy tale love and emotions. This shit is ugly and we ain't separating. Bad marriage for life. Well, guess what? You got a bad marriage for life. If he ain't working, that's what you married, man. Stop making excuses as to why you want to divorce him and go die by yourself. Because, ma'am, you are 300 pounds. You had talking like you just, like you, like with a, I don't, do you realize that people are dying in their places by themselves and being discovered weeks later by the coroner in around this world? In Japan, it's rampant because people our age are not supposed to be uncoupled. We're supposed to be coupled so our kids can come check on us, our extended family. You're in your apartment. You have a heart attack in your apartment. You can't get to your phone. What happens? You die. How long you gonna be dead before somebody checks on you?
Honestly, a day.
Huh?
The plan that I have in place and the family and friends that I communicate with, it would be a day.
A day.
Honestly,
A day. This woman honestly believes her $44,000 a year earning self has a plan that's so buttoned up that all she has to do is go off the grid for 24 hours and the cavalry's going to rush in. Who else believes that? $44,000 a year, almost 50-year-old, 300 pounds. And all you got to be gone is 24 hours. And all of a sudden, this entire machinery is going. Lady, do you realize there's a pandemic? The hospitals are bulging at the seams. ICUs are at capacity. Medical facilities are stretched. They don't care. You'll be dead for So you mean to tell me right now that in a corona situation, if you don't talk to somebody in 24 hours, what do they do?
They call and check on me.
Okay,
and
they
I have
call and
my
check on you, and then you call and check on you, and they call or do they text?
They're calling, texting.
Okay, what do they do
and
first, ma'am?
They are calling.
Okay, they call and you
However,
don't answer. They call and they don't answer. How long before they go to step 2? How long? When she's getting frustrated because I am making her actually think about it. That's why she's, because I'm making her actually think about it. But you got all this in place instead of a man. All this complex BS instead of your husband. That is how little regard black women like this have for their black men. Think about that. Asking you is how long before they really know that there's an emergency? Because most people call and give you a few hours to call back, or text and a few hours to text back. See, it's rarely somebody call at noon and they're sending the police by to do a wellness check at 3. Usually it's going to take a while. And ma'am, you know how long it takes before the smells? Do you live in a house? You live in a house?
I live in a house.
Okay. And you have neighbors on both sides?
Yes, I do.
Okay, 3 days. 3 days is what it typically takes before a rotting body to start smelling to where neighbors on either side will be alerted by the smell. You know what that looks like when you go into that scene? And I'm saying this not to gross people out, because this is what's happening to our generation. Because we were not coupled. In Japan, you are having, there's actually a term for this.
Kodokoshi.
Where the coroners are going to find people laying on their futons who have passed, who have expired. And the net of it, ma'am, is no one is checking on you that regularly to make sure you don't die. It'll be just to collect you. What's left of you. That's no way to live. And you can do something about it. So whatever is motivating you to sit back and say, well, I'd be better off doing this at 300 pounds divorced versus 300 pounds with a roommate of a husband and a loveless marriage, but at least he'd be there. That was part of the vows. And see, all right, guys, some of this has been heavy. I get it. It has been heavy. But this is what it really comes down to. We have yet to really have a conversation in the black community as to what it looks like for people. You know, I make the jokes, the danger zone and the no man's land, and we strags and this and that. We've made light of a critical situation. In Japan, 3 people die alone every day. And it's coming to this part. It's coming over here. It's coming this way. What are you going to do? You ain't trying to get married. You ain't trying to get in a situationship or a relationship. Okay, what's your plan? It's coming. And for the folks who don't want to spend the rest of their lives alone until someone has to come collect you. And let me tell you something. For the people who say, well, that's extreme. This woman didn't have any children. What about the ones that do have children? Your kids are off living their life. You know what a body that's been left for 3 or 4 days decomposing looks like? That's not gonna be pretty to put in the casket to send mama on. Think about it. How often do you talk to your mother? My mother has a husband. I sleep at night very good knowing that, God forbid, something would happen, she's got somebody laying next to her. They fight, they have their issues like anybody else. That's why I keep telling you, better go back to your baby daddy, you better go back to your husband. You better go back because this is life and it's not a game. We have made it casual to where we diss each other and snap on each other, but we're the only group that is this fractured in this country, and people benefit off of black men and black women being separate. Cui bono, who benefits from having black women over here, black men over here at war with each other? We don't. So whatever you have to do to make your life livable, so where you can enjoy what's left of it, can you do it? Start worrying about what your girlfriends will think or what, man, you better decide to do something to make the rest of what you have yours on purpose. That's what I say about it. So this show has been longer than normal because it's a heavy topic. I don't want to talk about this again like this. I really don't. It's freaking depressing. But it was requested. I'll let you guys know what the next show is going to be about. We're in the rest of the week. But anyway, time to get up out of here. Until the next time. Peace. We are gone. Here's the Grim Reaper. Hey. There she was when she was fine.
In this moment, yes.
Now she done hit the wall. Before that happened, this is the evolution, the devolution from here to here to here. And it all starts because of this little chick right here, all up in the head. Oh man, I cracked myself up. Join me on Patreon for Monday, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time for live stream videos there and Patreon only exclusive content. Get over there and check out the benefits. Thank you to all the Patreons for making this happen. Join me on IG for videos you will only see in the frat room. They're up, they're up. They're gone, they're gone. That's what it is. Go to info@buykevinsanders.com with your show ideas, your business proposals, or if you like to buy advertising, something like that, let me know. Or if you want to book your one-on-one time, go to buykevinsanders.com. Go to products or scheduling, check out, pick your product, check out. Do me a favor, don't send me a big long email with your life story and all this other stuff. I ain't gonna read it, I'll just block you. Respect my inbox. And Sunday, the playlist will be out Sunday. The songs, the grooves, I will upload them on my channel and you'll be able to sit back and just have your little chill hop session with me, you, and YouTube. Everybody go to sleep. Thank you to the cast of characters. Crazy animations. Good night.